Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Awesome Comics Podcast, which is coming to you live from SparkCon 2020. Hey! My name is Vince Hunt, and I'm the creator of the Red Mouse from Mars, Murder Road, and the Instagram comic Black. And joining me are the creator of the highly popular webcomic Vanguard, Viper, and also artist on El Marvo, Dan Butcher.
Lexi Dan, look at him.
Yes, and we've also
the glasses on.
Oh, yes. People can finally see you, Dan. You do exist.
I can see you with the glasses on as well. No, I've actually
And we also have the writer behind such titles as Cockney Kung Fu, The Hall Chronicles, and the Kickstarter success that is Atomic Hercules. It's Tony Esmond.
Hello.
funded in one day. Issue
8
2.
hours, baby. 8 hours.
Yeah.
No,
Living
8
the
hours.
dream.
How does it feel to make it, Tony?
I'll know one day, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, hello. And if there's anyone out there who may not have checked out the ACP before, because I would say there's some people who haven't listened to the show. Quite a lot of people probably haven't listened to the show.
Probably very sensible people.
Yeah, very sensible people. But if there's anyone out there who may not have checked us out before, we are a weekly podcast with the best in indie and small press comics. Join us to make one hell of a big noise. So normally we just do audio, as you can tell, because we've got faces for radio. But we're here basically to talk some comics, answer some questions, and hopefully entertain you for the next 90 minutes or so. Yes, that's right, you've got us for about 90 minutes. Or almost 2 hours. We'll probably run over. We always do. Whenever we have a sort of any sort of plan or schedule, we always run over, don't we?
Goes out the window fairly quickly.
Yeah. So this show, as it's video, it's going to be a little bit different. It is just a straight up comics talk episode, and you know what they're like if you've heard them before. If you're watching this live on Twitch at the moment and want to ask some questions, whether they're about making comics, promoting comics, just the small press scene, whatever it is, then feel free to ask. And that's on twitch.tv/Little Heroes, obviously. We'll get to them in a minute. We also have a question thread on our Twitter at The Awesome Pod, which we posted up like a thread just a minute ago. If you wanted to ask any questions, if you do it that way. So in theory, we'll be keeping an eye on both of those sort of streams, and we might answer some stuff. I mean, don't think you're going to ask and we'll immediately answer.
Probably not.
You know how this show works, people. Well, most of you do. If you knew, then you.
Well, we get a load of questions and then don't address any of them.
We're not going to address anything. We're just going to have too much fun for the next hour and a half or so. And this is unusual for us as well, because normally it's just straight, it's like a phone call, isn't it? There's no video or anything.
Yeah.
But,
we never look at each other like this. Occasionally, I can see you two, you can't see me.
Yeah.
But occasionally Dan gives us a flash, don't you? Occasionally we get a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to dress for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite unusual, isn't it? Yeah. And we're recording the show early. And it's
daytime, it feels weird.
It's daytime.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah,
It does.
I mean, hopefully we're coming across okay. I mean, I'm sat with my back to the window, so the light's coming in. So whenever I've done my 9 to 5 and had like a Zoom chat, I'm like casting shadow, like a witness on one of those sort of crime programs where they can't see their face.
Quite right too.
Yeah, so I've had to try and fixate some sort of lighting here.
Have they said you've got to do it with the camera on? Because my worker basically said, "No, you've got to do that. We don't want the voice calls."
If we're
haven't been
talking,
forced
we have to turn the camera on.
Yeah. I haven't been forced to, but it's just my sort of like design team that have that. We don't.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And as for the banners, they're just always up in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had another thing earlier this week with the cameras involved was Sarah Harris's quiz.
Yes.
Oh, we did a quiz, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't cheat and we came third.
Yeah.
Came a triumphant third.
I mean, we're not going to say that anyone was cheating. Watch that Twitch stream carefully. But we did come third. The team name was the Giant Sized Man Things.
Yeah.
I think we did all right.
Yeah. Zoe was involved, wasn't she? Mrs. B.
Mrs.
She
B.
came along.
Yeah.
She was. She's quite clever. Well, considerably cleverer than me. So
than all of us.
She was fielding a couple of the questions.
Yeah. She was the only reason we came third.
The Gone in 60 Seconds question, which I was pretty.
That was impressive.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was impressed with that one. Yeah. I sang as well in our little room. I did a little song.
Yeah. Oh, there was all kinds going on in the break room, weren't there? But
Someone's asked if we got any trousers on.
No.
What?
I let the side down. I'm wearing some River Island shorts.
I love the fact you keep telling me it's River Island.
Yeah.
They were Umbro the other day, but now River Island.
They were Umbro.
That's a step up.
Do you still have the shell suit?
No.
They've made a comeback.
No,
they haven't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do I know?
I've got that Captain America hoodie and this geezer at work where he takes a piss out of us and you're wearing your shell suit.
Well.
I'm not bitter about that.
I'm wearing a Colossus
No, you haven't just called him out.
Remember that comic Colossi? Do you remember? We had geezer wrote. I'm wearing a T-shirt for that.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good series.
And I'm wearing my Drugs and Wires T-shirt.
Oh, well, I was trying to remember where that came from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Anyway, we're also here. As you can see, it's going to be like this for 90 minutes. Just imagine that.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. We're also here to raise some money for charity as well. So, please click on the link. If you're watching on the stream, please click on the links and donate to Little Heroes. If you're just joining us just for this, I must say that SparkCon has been going on all day, and I've been checking it out. It's been great. So
me too.
All day.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
I'm really surprised that we're getting paid for this. I didn't want any money, but Aaron insisted.
Yeah. Well, I needed a couple of new solar panels on my yacht, which is where I'm broadcasting from.
Yeah.
The top deck.
Yeah.
I just wanted some crack.
It's
just
true.
smoked it up in a night.
It's true.
Rounds of a crack.
Yeah. Whenever we have a table at a convention, he never brings any stock. He's just got boxes of crack.
Yeah. For a while, I was writing thanks for the heroin when we signed books. I thought that was funny. That
no, Tony. Whenever you sign books, you know what you sign.
Vince blows goats. That was a recent one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I went through, I've got a long box of small press comics, and I've got one from Dean Beattie, and he calls me a C-bomb on that one.
Yeah.
That was nice. At the London Super Comic Con.
Yeah, that was when he was a couple of tables down when he judged our shit comic competition, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was a good day.
Yeah,
that was a great day.
Yeah. But back to Little Heroes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Obviously,
nearly went on the tangent there.
Yeah. If you don't know why we're here, or perhaps you just listened to the podcast for the first time. I mean, this is a chaotic one to join.
This is actually quite organised. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But Little Heroes do fantastic work distributing comic making kits to kids in hospitals and healthcare organisations across the UK. So, all jokes aside, please support.
We've all donated. Go and donate.
Yeah. It's fantastic stuff. It's fundraising throughout the day as well. Let's aim to get them past the 50% fundraising mark before we finish. I mean, it'll be like a telethon, won't it?
I feel like Terry Wogan.
Yeah.
Well, you look like Terry Nutkins.
Got his hair.
And his hand. Oh,
you do that. You'll get your ass out on camera for 50 quid.
Yeah, somebody just said, will Vince do the dance? Question, can Vince do the dance, seeing as how it's live? Oh, see that? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so aroused right now.
I know. That's what you get. I tell you what, pleasure charity and you'll get even more.
Yes!
I am a whore.
Do you know who
else is a whore?
Isn't a whore?
Who's that, Dan?
It's Comic House.
Yeah, our lovely sponsors, Comic House. Yes, we're still going to do this, folks. Yeah, they are our sponsor of the weekly show, and they're the indie comic marketplace with a difference. They're hugely supportive of the indie and small press scene. If you go to comichouse.com, you'll see a huge selection of titles on the database. And if you've got your own comics, and just say you've got boxes of them, I'm literally looking at a couple of boxes of my comics at the moment, then you can just list them on there for free, start selling straight away. It's another avenue to sell your comics. But they do have an app, and it's awesome. And we're checking out all the time.
We love it, don't we?
Yeah, the database is just getting bigger all the time. You can check out they're adding stuff weekly. I mean, what stuff is on there at the moment, Dan?
We've got Rona Season 1, Meanwhile Volume 1, which I cracked open today. I thought I'd give this a quick read. It's 140 odd pages, so that's not a quick read. So, Outlaws wanted a new Nottingham Comic Con
anthology.
Have we lost Dan?
Is he frozen?
I think Dan's
frozen. Look at that, I've got a frozen Dan on my screen. He's back.
But he was back. Oh, Dan, you almost froze on us.
My internet connection is shite. But so we've got Project Hoax, Surrealville 2, and El Marvo Issue 1.
Oh, saucy.
There's a ton of comics on there. Check him out.
El Marvo by your good self, my friend.
Yes. And Ben Errington and Luke Condor.
Yes.
Past
guests, our pals.
So if you want to check out all of that and loads more, there's been past guests that have books on there, but future guests that have books on there, and there's loads of stuff. So it's just £3 a month. You get access to all of that. There's a 14-day free trial. Plus, with the code Stay Safe, you get an extra month. Is that right, guys?
That's correct.
Yep. So sign up with Stay Safe. Does it have to be all caps or is it lower caps as well?
I'm not sure if it matters.
Yeah. Don't know how many caps.
What does matter right now? Yeah.
you
I think every comic we've pretty much done in the time we've done this show is on Comic House, and some we haven't.
I mean, that's a big statement to make, Dan.
Well, Red Mask is on there. Awesome Comics is on there. Vanguard's on there.
Oh, every comic that we've done.
We've done.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Not every comic. No, Christ.
Not.
Yeah, Hall Chronicles is on there.
Yeah. So perhaps if you watch this and just think, oh, I wonder what comics they make. You fools.
Oh, the Spark's on there, isn't it? Spark's on there.
Yeah.
Spark's on there.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff there. So
there's loads of Little Hero titles actually.
Yeah.
All available to read right now.
He's smooth, isn't he?
He is. He's changed.
He is. Yeah. He's like Lurpak. Other butters are available.
Shit, quite slick.
So as we said, this show's going to be rough, ready, and off the rails. I did notice on the Twitter we do already have a question.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
fire away.
Yeah, fire away. Let's start off with this, shall we?
Okay.
From Comics Anonymous.
Gaz.
Yeah, go check them out.
Gary.
Comics Anonymous is a fantastic sort of comics blog. So
definitely check it out.
Yeah. I will actually be posting show notes when this audio goes live as well. So I'll probably listen back to this because I haven't got my notebook. Normally I've got a notebook handy. You see, with stickers and look at that. I actually make notes.
Nice.
Yeah, that only I can understand. Not like Tony's notes, because he writes a ginormous script.
I've been writing loads of notes recently, yeah, I like it.
Not for this show, I hope.
No, just about you.
I love it.
Tony, I've been listening to that My Friend Dharma with you and Tom. It's fucking awesome. I've got to get that book.
Yeah,
I really love those deep dives you're doing into comics and get so much out of it. Like, I was out this morning listening to it, so I was like, oh God, I've got to get this.
Yeah, it was a new one to me as well, that one, and Tom loved it, and I really, really liked it. Yeah,
I mean, it's a book that's been a name, hasn't it? It has been it's been around for.
I spent a film of it and everything. Yeah, it's won awards in Angoulême, and he recommended it. And sometimes as a creator, they're good. It just you can't afford to buy everything, can you?
Yeah.
So you kind of stay away. And I thought, well, I know he's good, but I don't know. And then he sort of pushed me into it, and I've since bought everything he's done. Yeah,
nice.
But Durf replied as well. Durf sent us a lovely message, which is really nice. I was so pleased.
Brilliant. That's great.
So that people know what we're talking about, obviously, you've got the Judas Cast. No, I mean a little spin-off. We've got a spin-off. We're like The Walking Dead, only people are still paying attention to it.
Like I'm having an affair elsewhere, but with myself. It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Consensual.
Yeah. There's a lot of love in that room. But
polyamorous podcasting.
Oh, there is Dan's big word for the day. So mark your bingo cards, folks.
Polyamorous, but yeah.
That'd be a new Twitter account soon. But just tell us a little bit about that podcast and what you got coming up for it, Tony.
All it was is I fully expected to have loads of time spare during the lockdown. As it turned out, I have no time spare because my job sort of increased my work hours by twice. But I sort of had promised myself that I'd do this podcast, and I'd sort of registered for a load of the software that you taught me through, V.
Yeah.
I'd got it for a thing we were going to do at No Brow that we still haven't done yet. So I thought, I may as well make use of that. And I sort of just called up mates. Vince has been on, Dan's coming on, loads of just power, just to talk about a single comic or a single comic series and stuff like that, and take like an hour and a half just talking about a single thing and do a bit of a deep dive. And it's been fun. I've been really learning stuff. We've had some real big, like had Alan Henderson on last night, and Al knows his stuff, and Dave Robertson and Tom and Sarah Harris, and even Mr. Cumber came on, and
he's been banned in the chat. So we've already achieved. We have already achieved something today. And you can't say we don't do good things for the world.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, we've had a question on the Twitch, and it says,
"Yeah, hold on. I haven't asked Gary's question yet."
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Gary asks, "Do you think you guys would do a crossover issue of your respective titles?" I mean, the titles are so massively varied, aren't they, with the stuff that we do? I mean, we could, but it'd be crazy.
I've actually written a crossover for Cockney Kung Fu and something I was doing with Susie Gander. So I don't suppose it's completely out of the realms of possibility. Yeah,
it's going to be the Viper with Red in the car being chased by the Murder Road car.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah,
with quite a lot of shagging.
Yeah,
yeah,
obs.
Yeah, obs.
And then we'll make the comic. I feel one of the hard things about doing small press stuff is doing crossovers, because it takes me roughly a year to do maybe 2.5, 3 issues. So if I'm doing a whole issue of a crossover, that's essentially sort of 5 to 6 months of my life making that comic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a big kind of... Yeah. I'd love to do crossovers with loads of characters and other people's comics, but
what you need to do is just become a writer and tell artists what to do, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah,
the world's an easier place because I can't draw and I have no discernible talent. Yeah, much easier.
You can draw, Tony. We've
draw round things.
Well, if we did something like you write it, Vince draws it, and I colour it, we could always get around it that way.
Well, I write one of you dialogues it, and the other one draws it. You do that, can't we? Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. Whatever we do next.
And it'll be a lot of nudity.
Yeah. I mean, we had certain plans. Obviously, we did the Awesome Comics series, which is quite a time ago now.
We love doing that as well.
Which is crazy. That was a fun year, a busy year.
With Mr. Prolix.
Yeah. Yep. And obviously, since then, I mean, our plan was to do that, and then the next year do like a special. And we were making certain plans for it, and then we just got really busy, sort of doing other things, and other projects came.
Yeah, we did. We had a plan for a sort of special around it, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
And it's a plan that hasn't gone away, because there will be something else
get round to it.
Under the Awesome Comics banner in the future, and it will just be crazy and fun, and it will be whatever it will be, because the titles that we actually created for that series as well as just being a laugh for us to try something different, they're actually quite personal to us as well. So
mine's something of a legacy character. So the thing I've done with the Mighty Cumber, who is now banned out of the chat, obviously, is there's a little hint to something previously in that as well. So
yeah. And I know certainly there's going to be collections in the future.
That's the plan.
I can see like the Tonyverse. I don't know if he's got the name for it, but like where's Red, and then in the future there's like Atomic Hercules and
Shall I announce the eventual issue? The special we're going to do with Atomic Hercules.
Oh God! Yeah. There's going to be more.
Well, we got issues 1 and 2 where it's self. There's just one story.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a special, and it's going to be called Atomic Hercules Travels to Uranus.
I mean, it's on brand.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can't fault it for that.
Yeah. And congrats to you and Falp for smashing the initial target.
Pleased. So pleased. Yeah, it's really cool.
So if you want to know what we're talking about, and you need to be prepared for Atomic Hercules, because nothing can prepare you for Atomic Hercules. Go on to Kickstarter. Issue 2 is being funded right now as we speak. It's made its target, so you're going to get your comics. And you'll get them pretty damn quick as well, because Falpy doesn't mess about.
No, we're done. The art's done. The lettering's done.
Have you done the letter section? Is that all done and completed?
No, we could do with a few more letters. Anyone wants to write a letter in, you're likely going to get published. Yeah, make it as crazy as you like.
There's 2 email addresses, isn't there? Because we got our one. There's tony.awesomecomicspod@gmail.com if you want to
just go for that one, because I can't remember the other one.
Yeah. So if you want a letter to appear in issue 2, because we love the letters page on this show. That's why we had them in our book.
Yeah.
It's
special.
Yeah. Enough for me. Over to you. So what about you two guys? What you got going on? Come on, who's go first?
I'll go first.
I've gone Dan. Yeah.
Well, I've been talking to Ben and Luke because we've been working on El Marvo issue 2, and all the art's done. I've got to finish off the lettering, and we pulled it because it wasn't doing so great. We kicked
right at the start of the lockdown, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right, and there was just so much noise and interference going on. I said, let's pull it back, and we dropped it. But I don't know about you guys. It seems like we've kind of reached a new normality, and everything's kind of settled a bit, and everyone's kind of knows where they are now. So I think we might be looking into relaunching it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, nice.
I've got to talk to the other chaps. Yeah, I mean, it's all all the stuff's drawn, coloured. All the letters are sitting on the pasteboard. I've just got to transpose them and put the word balloons on. So all there.
Yeah, and it looks. We've had some teasers to Dan's work, and it's absolutely glorious. Yeah, absolutely glorious.
There was one page that took maybe 2 or 3 times the length of every other one, which is not the best thing to do when you're making comics. But
why was that? Was it just more detailed? Was it the colouring? What was it?
A lot of layers, but it's all worth it, isn't it? Yeah, big pain.
Yeah, and it'll be a glorious issue in the end. So so look out for that as well then, as well as Vanguard, obviously. When does that start anew, Dan? I don't want to put pressure on.
That should be any time now. It's really stupid. There's one thing holding it back, and that's I'm doing a new launch trailer just to announce when it's coming out. But the announcement trailer's taking more time to get together than the actual making the comic because I'm playing out of position. So I'm putting that together and hopefully get it done soon, and then it'll be ready to go.
Nice. And what about you, V? You've gone all hipster and launched an Instagram comic. Come on, admit it.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got a couple of projects on at the moment. One of them, of course, which I announced a while ago, is called Indigo Park. That's going to be a proper web comic. But that's when we talked a little bit when I was talking to you on your podcast, Tony. It's a little more labour intensive, and it's more like a straight up comic. So that's going to be coming soon. So just stay tuned to the social media. But I also in this sort of time, the downtime that we have right now in these crazy times, I just tried something experimental. I was just I had the iPad, and I just had like a seedling of an idea, and I just started creating stuff and drawing it, and then I brought it's almost like a Marvel method. I've been doing art and then transposing the words onto it. And
mate, there's a real poetry to that comic. I really like it. It's so different for you, and I just love seeing it like pop up every day. It's not a gentleness to it because it's a barbarian comic, but there's a real pause to it. I really like it, man.
Yeah, it's interesting because I had this because of the nature of the style. And for those who are wondering what I'm talking about, is on Instagram. And if you go to Instagram, Black the Comic, that's BLAK the Comic, and it's like a new page every day. The art is very pared down. It's very black and white. It's monotone, dealing with like silhouettes and dry brushes and and it's. I've already done, and because it's so quick, it's almost like it's just out of the brain, and then I'm drawing action or like thought-provoking scenes or something like that. And sometimes it's all in the stuff you can't see, if you know what I mean. If it's a silhouette where it just looks like a shape, but your brain puts together that there's an arm pointing and stuff. So it's interesting using that.
It's really stripped back, man. That's what I like. Have you ever seen Smooth comics? There's that stripped back because your brain works it out, doesn't it?
Yeah,
There's an instinctualness to it.
It in the details,
and that's totally what I've done with it. And the basis of the comic was, I just wanted to do something. It's almost in the Robert E. Howard sort of Conan sort of way. That there's a nameless, faceless warrior, and he is literally faceless. He has no mouth. There's no real sort of identifying marks of gender or anything like that. It's just like this character who is called Black because he's completely, that's what he is, the colour. And he just wakes up in this strange sort of barren landscape. He has no memory of anything. He just goes on a journey and comes across monsters and,
You're getting a lot of love on the Twitch babes for that comic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, people are liking it, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Zach Cobb and Gaz are saying they liked it, yeah.
It's been, I'll tell you what, because it's something very, very different and very sort of experimental, and because I know what's coming up in it, and I've done pages that I've looked at and thought, I cannot wait for people to see this, because the pages that we've had in the first week is the slow build-up, do you know what I mean? It's the person waking up. And when Dan came on board, because I was saying, I'm doing this, I'll do the art. Do you want to just throw words over the top of it? Because I wanted a real poetic, sort of like old timey, sort of that Conan, the narrative boxes you get in Conan and those old barbarian comics and stuff like that. And and he's brilliant with words. So he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he really was digging the art style. So, and he's thrown his words over it. I'm nothing to do with the words. I just want to make that clear. Even though I've been announcing this stuff, the words are all him. And he's been laying them. He's basically just looked at the pages, written out a sort of script, thrown it to me. And there's been times when I've done some editing in terms of pacing and stuff, and we're both finding that sort of rhythm as the pages go on. Because he's normally a prose writer. He's taking a break from writing for a bit, but so he's sort of doing those learnings as well. And there are going to be pages that aren't going to have that many words on them because there's a lot of action coming up. But it's been a fantastic experiment to sort of try that. And just when I was reading some of his words, I just thought the story then had another layer to it, and just became something else. Which we've lost Dan for a minute. Sadly, I think we have lost Dan. He'll come back.
He's gone for a Tommy tank. I don't know who's Pepsi Scrolls on the Twitch. I don't know who that is, but he says, "I wish I was Dan Butcher," and Andy Hanks has said, "We all do."
Yeah, we all do. I mean, yeah. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He's the gangster of the podcast world.
Oh, someone's calling in. Who's calling in? The D-man's back.
He's back. You can't keep a
good. The internet is so shabby here. It's a real pain in the ass.
Well,
should we answer one of the questions while you're there, D?
Yeah.
Is Andy Hanks wants to know what is on the wall behind you?
I've got a piece of original art from Mahoney's, a June poster, a Robocop photograph. There's a photo of the three of us.
John Wagner.
Yes, I can't remember where the con it was at.
It was at Leamington, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And then above that, I've got some original art from Johnny Cannon, Bloodshot. And then behind me, there's a Punisher Jim Lee and Vanguard Book 1 and a piece of art from Chris Imber.
That's obviously an original Jim Lee page, is it?
Yeah. I wish. It's got a signature on it, so I presume this is like a signed lithograph.
Yeah,
so,
like a limited edition.
Yeah. I've got that. Zoe got me up for like the 30th or something. So
nice,
lovely stuff.
Nice.
You're a lucky man.
So that was last week then, wasn't it, Dan? Oh, he's so youthful, so youthful. Behind the banners in my room, it's just polythene because this is a murder room.
Yeah. And you got a big birthday coming up soon as well, V, ain't you? Because we're going to Blackpool.
We're not going to Blackpool. No, we're not.
I said it before. Yeah, Blackpool's not the best of places.
Yeah, that's why it'd be good for us.
Yeah.
If you're actually listening to this or watching this, whatever, and you are from Blackpool, hello, we love you.
Yeah, we apologise.
Yeah, I apologise.
But I do feel bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm down south, so
I don't even know where Blackpool is.
You don't give a shit about my opinion anyway.
Don't, because Damien will have a go at me again. He says it's a northern hate crime. He keeps telling me. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. What? Not this show, I hope.
Brits hate. We hate the people in the north. The north people in the south. We hate our neighbours.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
Yeah. When the three of us go outside, we hate everything. But when we get together, we just love comics, and we love all you lovely. Yep. Have you got another question?
No, I haven't. I was going to say, should we do our reviews or recommends?
Oh, do you want? Yeah. Should we do one now, and then we'll do one
later on? Should we do that?
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah. We're going to when we're on the video, we're going to try and share the screens.
Yeah.
So if we talk about stuff, yeah.
I'm going to go first, and then so I'll try and share it now. Shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay.
This will be interesting.
There you go. Has that worked?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So mine is currently on Kickstarter. I got sent it through as a sort of preview copy by Jensk Stive, who I reviewed a few years ago with his Dunce comics. Do you remember those guys?
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah.
I do indeed.
Really good stuff. It's I think it's got about another 25 days to go on Kickstarter. It's 40 pages, full colour. He's a Norwegian. Jens is a Norwegian comic creator, and he I met him a couple of years ago. I think he's done a couple of LCAFs, so he's about, and you can find his stuff. And I've really enjoyed his Dunce stuff. I think it was a web comic. It's kind of got a newspaper strip quality to it, if you can see that. So this is a spin-off of Dunce. You can see Dunce and his son there because they wear Dunce hats. And it's done with a really sort of sharp cartooning style. But obviously the dog talks. So the dog is actually his real dog because he took in a dog. There you go. There's a picture of him there.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're all dog lovers, aren't we?
Yeah.
Vince once tried to steal my dog, and he takes him in, and it's a real story about this dog he adopted in June 2015, and he writes stories about him. The dog is obviously sarcastic, grumpy, and a little bit crazy, and you get the moments that ring true for people who do have dogs and do look after dogs and stuff like that. There's the one on the left there you can see is one of my favourite ones, where the dog wakes him up in the middle of the night and says he needs a wee. And they go out, and whenever a dog wakes you up in the night to need a wee, they never do. They just sort of stand there in the garden because they think it's good fun, and it ends up Jen's doing a wee.
It's not good fun.
It's not. And then the dog gets used to it and wakes you up every night so you can go in the garden, because it's a game just to get you to go in the garden. There's one where I can't think where it is. There's one where he runs off and eats horse manure. If anyone's ever had a dog and they've had it run back towards you with a load of a cow pat in its mouth or something, you know how that works. Yeah, I really. Speaking of the cover, we always sort of say we should talk about covers. I love that cover. I think it's really distinctive.
Yeah,
about you guys.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's got a real sort of pure European comics kind of feel to it. It's that's the sort of thing that you'd see on the shelf. You know, one of those large, oversized sort of books that you get in France and Belgium and things like that. It's
something like Spiro or something like that sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
Those kind of like a lot of white on the cover can really kind of, you've got the two colours there popping out. That really works.
Yeah, I think that really works. It's a book you saw that on the shelf, you pick it up and look at it when you.
Oh god, yeah.
It's iconic and distinctive, and it grabs your attention. And also, obviously, which is important these days, and more important during the lockdown, is it looked good as a little thumbnail on a digital sales place, like Comic House or Comixology or something like that. Yeah, so it's a series of little stories. It's really good, I have to say. I really enjoyed it. More of what we're used to with Jen's. Funny, sarcastic. He's got a slightly sort of skewed, strange sense of humour that I really enjoy. If you go to the Kickstarter, you'll also see that he quotes us on it.
Nice.
You can find him on Instagram, which is a great place to read his stuff. You go to instagram.com/Dunce comic, DUNCE comic. You can find him on Twitter at Jenstive, which is JENSKSTYVE, Jenstive. It's really good stuff. I met him, and he's a sort of crazy-eyed individual who I just kind of I like the people who live on those little sort of outskirts of our hobby, and it's just strong, consistent, good work. I just kind of enjoy it. It's a nice little break. You'll never solve world hunger with it, but it's just fun, and that's kind of what it's meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Whatever we post here, because obviously there was a bit of screen sharing there, we're going to make a little sort of PDF or something, just so, not of the actual books, you got to go out and buy them yourself, but just to show an example of what we're talking about. That will be on the Podbean page. Yeah, you can stop sharing your screen now, Tony, because that was Inception. I saw myself within myself.
I know, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very creepy. But Butcher,
that's my first one. We got one each, haven't we? Today?
Yeah, we got one each. We're going to start off. So Butcher's next.
The one I'm going to be talking about is Trujillo by Gustavo Vargas, and I'm going to try and share my screen. So let's see how badly I can mess this up. I almost said fuck there. Yes, Trujillo. Okay.
There you go.
So I've written a little spiel out about this. By Gustavo Vargas. You can find Gustavo on Twitter at Gustavo Vargas. And he's got there on Big Cartel Store, which is gustavovargas.bigcartel.com. Or you can read the comic on Comic House, our sponsors. It's a comic set in a future, kind of like a cyberpunk-esque Peru, which Gustavo comes from. It sort of deals with... the story follows like a duo of criminals, and they get caught up like in a turf war between two rival gangs after they steal like a drug shipment. Part of the world like Gustavo's created, there's a real fusion between like animals and manipulating kind of the creatures around them to kind of like suit their own purposes. And in this one instance, they use drugs to transport. They use guinea pigs to transport drugs, and it's pretty horrific. Let me show you. Can go onto it. I've not got a panel, but here's one here. So they stuff these drugs inside these guinea pigs, and the guinea pigs are often killed afterwards. And what's a nice little touch, there's a character that sort of says after they've like got all the drugs out of them, sometimes they like cook them or smoke them just to get the last remnants out.
Right,
like, kind of like Fucking hell.
thing about Gustavo that always pisses me off is he doesn't put any detail in, does he? Do you know what I mean? That's me being sarcastic, Gustavo.
Yeah.
I love you. Yeah.
But the amount of world building Gustavo puts into it really feels like it's a real place. It's kind of There's when it goes onto the city spreads, you can feel this really oppressive city. I feel the heat of the city and the smells of it. The two kind of gangs, you can get a bit there where this chap's got the face paint on. It's inspired by South American symbols, and they sport tribalistic paints like this. I think these guys are the skull faces. I can't quite remember what they're called, which is handy. So essentially, Trujillo, it's his take on crime noir, and there's a mixture of Latino themes mixed in with classic crime tales. So there's kind of setups and payoffs, characters double crossing it. I really like the artwork. This is just me all over it. And there's one standout DPS spread, which is just an absolute banger.
Oh, amazing! That's great, isn't it? Oh, look at that, man. That's great. Yeah, he should be doing Dread stories with that. What's wrong? Yeah. What's wrong with 2000 AD? They should have him on board.
Just this whole layout is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, there's lots of great color choices, which is sort of informs the mood. Is it some of the fluidity and this movement of everything blasting around and happening? Look at these dogs; they're just great. I really enjoyed the whole comic.
I love the fact that page is designed to F with the people at Comixology who do guided view.
I kind of, since I've been doing the Vanguard stuff, I've stayed away from doing double page spreads. Perhaps I should go into them because there's a real way to make an impact with them.
Yeah.
It's more how to kind of display them on screen, because just the limitations of what you're doing with the WordPress app. But the whole comic is £4. You can get it from Gustavo's shop or get it on Comic House. There's a ton of back matter in it where you see Gustavo's design the characters and some of the vehicles and the world building. It's a real good comic.
Gustavo drew me I met Gustavo, I think, at Thought Bubble, but also met him at the Lakes last year, and he did me a brilliant Master of Kung Fu. Yeah,
nice.
Good. Yeah, really
there
nice.
You go. Trujillo.
Good stuff. Yeah,
nice.
That's on Comic House, isn't it? Yeah.
That's on Comic House.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can turn off my screen sharing.
Right, and I'm gonna actually try and do a screen share, and then I'll show you some more of the interior pages for my first choice. For those who don't know, I live in Bath, and there's a group of us that sort of hang out and get together sometimes and organise events. Lots of fantastic illustrators, one of whom is Lise Richardson, who I'm a big fan of. Talked about it a couple of times on the show before. And I'm going to recommend a book that is just a joy to read. Now let's see if I can share this screen. I've got to do my settings, man. This is rubbish. Anyway, stuff that. You're going to get it old school. And it is this.
Oh, I've read that. That's good.
Nice.
We saw them at BAM, didn't we?
Yes.
We were chatting to them at BAM, weren't we?
Yeah, we were indeed.
So, I like her stuff.
Yeah, for those who don't know, But It Is All Terrible, which is the second collection of Lisa's work.
Not wrong, is it?
She does, yeah. But this is an absolute joy. She does an Instagram sort of comic, web comics and stuff, and it's things, 3-panel type strips. They're sort of. Seeing it printed is just wonderful as well. That's what I love about the printed book as well, because it works on seeing it online, but when you're holding it and you see the rhythm of it and the colour, it's just beautiful.
Small Press is one of the few places that does landscape books well.
Yes,
I like landscape books in the Small Press, but if Marvel did one, I'd go, what? I don't like that. But we treat them well, don't we? Yeah.
Especially when you get them printed nicely, and this is printed very, very nicely. It's also got that lovely smell of the book. This is obviously the second collection of, as she calls them, quite silly comics about nothing in particular. So it's just day-to-day life, funny sort of one-liners of her partner and a dog, and the dog, which is yet more dog behaviour.
Good.
Is that
we love a dog.
Is that 3 books we've just recommended, which are very dog-centric?
Blimey. Got dogs in them.
Yeah, I love dogs.
Yeah. So it's really funny, really quirky, and I love the colours she uses for the 3 panels. I don't know if it's in sequential sort of order, on chronological order. Sorry, But if so, then she's definitely got a view to the colours that she's using from one strip to the next each day. And it is just the day-to-day sort of amusing sort of anecdotes. I mean, there's a lot of people out there doing those sort of daily strip sort of comics, aren't there?
There is at the moment.
Yeah.
There is a lot. Yeah.
But and they're like 10 a penny. But when you see one that stands out, it really stands out. And Lisa's work has a real sort of charm to it, a sort of a real softness of touch, as well as just being like quirky and funny. She actually does like illustration for like comedy gigs and stuff. She's very much in the sort of stand-up comedy gigging area. So she does a lot of marketing and puts on stand-up comedy shows and stuff. She's done some beautiful illustration for that. But yet she still wants to put out these great little comics. You can catch her on Instagram at Lise Richardson Art, on Twitter at Lise Richardson, and LiseRichardsonArt.com, which is what I was sharing before my Mac said, "Nah, mate, you're not doing that." And these are just great books. I mean, there was a book before this called Maybe I'm Dreadful, which was fantastic. This one
Is that about me?
Well, it's that one's called Shh, Be Quiet, He Might Be Listening.
He might be watching.
Tony.
He might be, yeah, Shut Up Tony will be the new one.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. We should have had the T-shirts. That would have been better, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, there was the now famous as well. Shush now, Vince.
Yeah. But Laura Trinidad's copyrighted that.
You were talking about 3-panel strips there. There was a Penned Gwyn this week, which is a 9-panel grid, and you could read the comic in any order.
Oh, that's
love Penguin. Love it.
That is top stuff. That
was good. Fucking ace.
Yeah, that is top stuff. So definitely check out Lise Richardson. She also did another book which I've got handy here, which if you like a bit of folk horror, then
yes.
Can you see that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like
That's
that.
what it says on the tin.
Yeah. And it's from her Inktober 2018. I think I mentioned it on the show.
It's about really bad folk music.
Yeah.
No, there's a few comics there.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to Fotheringay?
Pardon?
What? Kate Rusby? What?
Yeah. But this is just a straight up Inktober, sort of like lots of
Real.
Sort of Wicker Man and like just things like that, all kinds of stuff. Over 30 illustrations of a selection of films and TV shows based on Howard David Ingham's list in We Don't Go Back, A Watcher's Guide to Folk Horror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at us, the intellectuals. Look at us.
Yeah.
I like Lise, actually. Lise is funny. We were chatting, weren't we, at bar?
Yeah.
And we had a giggle. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Good
Tony tried to make her believe something that was that was a blatant lie until I said, "Don't listen to him. He's full of shit."
I can't remember what I said now. I lie a lot.
Yeah. It wasn't about your wife, was it?
Oh, about her being dead again.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Her being dead again. So Jason Voorhees just keeps coming back to kill Tony.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking awful.
We're sharing one of those things about how many people have brought it down again. How many people passed with the coronavirus, and one country had -1. So they come back as a fucking zombie.
Jesus.
That's how it starts.
I only watch TikTok now. I don't watch the news.
If only I could see TikTok videos from Tony. Tony, can you actually make TikTok videos just for us?
Those stupid dancing ones. It's all just dancing videos, isn't it?
That's the point of it, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I'll probably get talked into it one day.
Right, have you got TikTok? Tell me, have you got TikTok?
No, I haven't got TikTok.
You have.
We're that fucking living Grandpa Simpson meme.
Yeah.
Just not knowing what fucking cool is anymore.
Yeah. TikTok's what my clock does.
Any questions?
Yes, we got another one here. Gary from Comics Anonymous. He wants to know. He wants to know all the things. But first, before that, Ludology. Yes, at the Ludologist, 2014.
One of the bros from the 200th episode.
Yeah.
Come down all the way from Scotland. Yeah.
He said, "Are there any good ghost comics, or would they be shite as a genre?"
Good shout.
He's a genius. That kid's a genius. I love his question. Repeat it. Are there any good ghost comics, or are they shite?
Yeah. Or is it shite as a sort of genre? I guess because ghost comics I guess they're like a subgenre of the horror.
Yeah. I find horror is one of the hardest things to kind of pull off in comics. You're stripped of so many of the tools that other mediums have. It can be tricky, but there's some examples out there.
And there is some good ghost stuff. I mean, like works of like Sarah Gordon, who I talked about recently on the show.
Yeah.
She's done some
Yeah, that's
great stuff.
That's a good. I'm trying to think of some, man.
Because it's making a story that's sort of haunting. You don't, with a ghost story, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be show and tell, does it? You don't have to. You've definitely got to think about the story you're telling, and it kind of has to linger in your mind afterwards. I think a good ghost story. Whereas like a monster comic or like a slasher, it's just punch in the face. It's like smash and grab comics, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just all about the visceral sort of reaction. Whereas
I'm going to say Dead Man counts as a ghost comic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's definitely some good sort of bigger genre ones out there, aren't there? I mean, there's
always go for Junji Ito for horror stuff. He can really put like a sense of dread and I don't know what how you describe that.
It's difficult to make a ghost scary, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Casper. I suppose Casper was a comic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's different sort of ghost sort of comics,
Yeah.
and Ghost from Dark Horse.
Yeah,
Ghost Rider.
Ghost. Yeah, he's not literally a ghost.
It's not a ghost, though. That's the weird thing. Ghost. Neither is Ghost from Dark Horse comics. She's quite saucy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't stop her being a ghost. Have you never seen the Patrick Swayze classic? Oh, what he does in the way of pottery.
I like that film, The Entity, where naked men have...
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's one.
That's an awful film.
That's an awful film.
Do you love it then?
That? Awful.
I love bad films, but even that's a bit beyond my taste, so I've got to tell you. It's a bit too rapey for me.
It's pretty rapey.
I'm not having that as the name of the episode this week.
I mean, if you want to see that Barbara, what's the name, Hershey, get thrown around and raped by an invisible ghost, that's the film for you.
Yeah, if that's your peccadillo.
Your face. It's worth saying that just to see your reaction, Vince.
I know. The reactions are live now. You can actually see it. So
the cannon's in the chat as well now.
Yeah. Do we have anything on the Twitch chat?
So I think the Don wants to know if he can see the 250th comic. I thought we put it up. Did we put it in the Facebook page? We did, didn't we?
We did.
I think Aaron, who's online. Aaron, you've got it, babe. So you could put it up somewhere, could you?
If you could link it in the Twitch chat, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've got it over here.
It's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Who else we got there? So Ken Reynolds says Gustavo did an amazing Hellboy. I can see him being suited to that one. For Thought that's good stuff.
Talking of Ghost, can you see?
Dan, no. You'll get us kicked off Twitch. I mean, if we're literally banned now, do you people see? I mean, why this show could never be a video show?
JWC's in the house. Oh, look at that.
Hello. Do you know what?
Hello, JWC.
Let's put a big hello to anyone that's actually watching this. Absolute.
Oh, we've got loads on it. Yeah. All our favourites.
Yeah. So, and if
most offensive joke, please, in Twitch chat.
No, Dan Butcher. I tell you what, I can literally hang up on you, Dan, and I can say it's your bad internet connection.
I tuned in for a John Tucker stream yesterday.
I watched that yesterday. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I told my cockfighting joke in it. He smiled.
It can only be better than that flipping comic relief load of old nonsense that was on television. Was it last night? Jesus Christ!
I did laugh at the.
No one's ever. When was the last time someone laughed at a comic relief thing? Oh, it wasn't actually comic relief, though, was it?
I can tell my joke about a watch again.
Go on.
No, they had it last week, didn't they?
Yeah, but there might be new listeners. But this
is performed live.
Yeah, this is live and direct.
I'll tell it later.
All right.
Oh, well, there's something to look forward to.
Have you got any questions on the Twitter, Baby Cakes?
On the Twitter? Well, I mean, Gary wants to know literally everything about us.
Well, fire another one from Gary while we're
do another one. Then we can do another review in a second, can't we?
Hang on. Right, talk amongst yourselves, because I've shut the page down.
You're in charge of Twitter.
I know. Oh, well, I'm not in charge of Twitter.
So I put a thing on the Twitch saying, "Oh, they can hear me, can't we? Why am I typing on it? They can hear me."
Yeah.
What's going on? Anyone got any questions? There you go. That's easy. I don't even have to type it. Damien's just said sorry about something. I don't know what's going on there. What have you done? Cumber's missing. Where's he gone?
He got banned.
Oh no, he's back again. Yeah, he's back. That's good.
Yeah.
Right,
cool.
You weren't joking about the ban then? That was...
No, I got banned early, didn't I? I got a ban.
How'd you do that?
I said put too many exclamation marks in. Pepsi Scrolls. Who's Pepsi Scrolls? I don't know who that is. He
That
says
rings a bell.
my farts smell like beef and onion crisps. But I've not eaten any crisps for ages. Okay.
Well done. I mean, it's always good to be proud of something.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had beef and onion crisps.
All right. Do you want a Comics Anonymous like quickfire round?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I like this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Bring it.
Is there going to be a Hall Chronicles issue 2?
Yes.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more to that. It really is a quickfire round.
Yeah, there is. I've got the scripts pretty much done. When I get some time in my life, I'll probably start rolling it out to some artists. Yeah.
It's not going to be called the Hall Chronicles, though, is it? Is there a slightly different flavour to it?
It's about the punters. Yeah, we talked about the punters. You're back on. You're editing it again. I've told you.
Yeah.
And Dan's doing a strip for us this time. He's off.
Yeah. Let's have a look. When will we see more Red Mask from Mars? Well, yes. He's on hiatus at the moment, purely down to times have moved on. And basically, I was going to have a small break after issue 3 to do on some other stuff, and one thing led to another. And I've inked quite a bit of issue 4, but I wasn't feeling it. And it's not like I've got a huge, big 2 deadline or anything like that. It's not like, I mean, I've got my yacht, so.
Yeah.
Is it something you can see yourself coming back to, or like?
I think so. Yeah, I do have some stuff that and also I could do some little collections of things. But the sort of time's got to be right. And I've got for instance, I'm trying the webcomic sort of genre this year, and
hipster.
Yeah, well, I mean, I learned it all from you, Tony.
I know. We've had a flat white together. We haven't had a flat white. We've had a posh tea.
No, I have a tea. You love a flat white, don't you?
Yeah, I have a flat white. But we did go for a posh tea in Betty's, didn't we? And you kept saying I was being embarrassing.
Yeah, and we really hope Thought Bubble is still on this year.
Yeah, we really do. Big love
Hi
to Chloe.
Chloe, big love to all the Thought Bubble guys. We hope we're going to be there because
I really hope it is. I mean, I really hope it is.
I was so destroyed after last year, but I had such a laugh.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
It was so good. So fingers crossed for all the events.
And Nobrow got a ban. I think Nobrow involved quite heavily this year, so I'm hoping because I've got a load of work to do around it.
So fingers crossed. Obviously, it's strange times we're living in at the moment. So all of you event organisers or whoever you are out there, we hope you're all safe and things are okay. And
we've got a couple of sensible questions come through on the Twitch as well, which I might pose to you guys.
Have you made note of them? There's a couple more here actually.
Right, okay.
What's next for What's next for Vanguard?
Just banging more issues out. Issue 18 coming your way.
Yeah,
next couple of weeks.
And will we see Black in print somewhere down the road? You may do.
Yeah, nice little square book. I like that. Yeah.
We'll see where the story goes.
Yeah. Will we see any live reenactments and readings?
I mean, who could you get to actually read it? It'd be nice to get
me.
I was thinking Siri and McKellen, but you're probably the Laurence Olivier of comics anyway, aren't you?
I've told you I'm related to Laurence Olivier. I've told you this story before.
No.
My great aunt was his first wife. Look it up, baby. Look it up.
Blimey. I'm not going to look it up now because that would just be be dull.
Completely derail the show.
Amazing actor.
Yeah, because all this time people have thought that you're human.
Hey?
Nothing. Right, you said you had some questions, Tony.
Yeah, we've got some questions, sensible ones. So one from Skinny Drawn Boy. Question from me. How do you guys deal with VATMOS with digital sales overseas? I don't know about that. I don't know anything about it.
You said sensible questions, and then we're like...
I don't know.
We don't know how
Well, maybe we can put a call out to people in the chat to help him out. King.
You should be keeping a record of the money you're taking for overseas sales.
Yeah. I'm not selling anything at the moment. So Dan's whereas Dan is a one-man empire. So
the brand.
Yeah.
Well, most of my stuff is like the webcomics, so I'm not selling anything there. All the books I'm selling are kind of hard copy stuff. I'm not seeing hide nor hair of money from Comixology.
Yeah. I mean, like with those sort of things, you need to earn over a certain amount before they give you anything anyway.
Yeah, we've been hearing that for years, though. I can't imagine we haven't earned. Yeah.
Well, I
anyway.
think it's per annum you're earning that.
Yeah.
So unless you're earning over that threshold,
If you don't get
take advice on this. Don't take it from three idiots on this string.
So no, we've got we've got a rep at there called Samara, who's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, really good. Yeah, really user friendly. There's a couple more sensible questions. One from Kigo Doodles. What do you guys make of DC on the Alterna dropping Diamond? I've got to tell you, I still just feel it's in flux at the moment. I don't really know anyone knows what's going on with the DCBS announcement and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. I'd be glad to see Diamond go. I'll be honest with you. I'm not set backwards in saying that.
I feel like it's held them back. I mean, I want to see comic books back in supermarkets and stuff like that.
But has the damage been done? Do you know what I mean? Are supermarkets and shops like that going to be open to it? I mean, we know that the guys of like the Phoenix and stuff are fighting the good fight, and how hard it is for them. I mean, they're in like Waitrose and things like that, but how hard is it for a weekly or monthly comic to get in and also be prominent enough to actually sell anything? Because we've all been in a bigger store and we've gone to the comic section and it's just plastic bags and toys and
they reckon the big sales push now is bookshops. Weirdly, that's what they're saying. Bookshops and Amazon are the two places now. The worldwide, well, no, that's wrong. America, Canada, and the UK, more comics are sold in bookshops than anywhere else now. Yeah, which is an interesting turn.
The Waterstones I used to go to years and years ago, they had a comic section.
Yeah,
with like you could flick through the single issues. That must have been a hell of a job keeping that sorted out amongst all the book stuff. But you're right. My main concern is like seeing comics just part of a shop that sells Funko stuff, and arguably we could say we're pretty much already there.
Yeah.
It's like sold with other stuff, and there's comics. It's not a comic book shop anymore. It's a gaming shop with comics and figures and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It seems like it's all to play for, and it's not.
Yeah, it really
it's
is.
Very
Now's
hard.
The time, if you want to make a few quid, there's opportunities. We hear all this stuff about distribution in the States, and there's daily changes in it. There really are. I listen to the boys at 11 o'clock, and they're friends with DCBS, and they hear a different thing almost every 2 days. But here, we don't hear enough about what's happening here.
Yeah.
We literally no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, is it going to have to be like TKO when you have to kind of order direct from them, get it shipped over for the States individually?
I think people are going to have to do what goes on in the kids' book market now is have a number of different distributors. So you go with Diamond, whatever the equivalent is. You also go with DCBS. You also go with Turnaround or someone like that as well. I think you're going to have different distribution streams, and that includes digital now. But I don't think Comixology are going to hold on to the digital for that long either. When you look at the Marvel app, which I've just downloaded, that Marvel Unlimited app, it is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm so making my money out of it. You're not making money, but I'm so
getting your money's worth.
Yeah, completely.
How much is that, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got a feeling it's $8.99 or $9.99 a month or something.
Well, that's just 2 of their normal books, isn't it, weekly?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like £2.50 a week, and if you're blasting through the comics,
there's
one problem I find with digital stuff. As soon as you put it on the web, it's free to people. There's a real entitlement to comics. Fuck me, I go to image boards and there's whole stuff, links
where it's
straight to a PDF.
A lot at the moment is on Telegram. Telegram's huge for that at the moment.
Telegram.
The phone app Telegram.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
I was questioning your age then, Tony. I don't know.
What, like on the Telegram app, people are sharing around links to?
Yeah, if you put Marvel comics into Telegram app, it's like never ending, and it's the day of release. All downloaded.
It's bad because people kind of consider themselves comic fans and they do stuff like that, and it's like you're fucking killing it, man.
Yeah.
Can't carry on like that. But you got to do like. This is a bit of a strange analogy. Years ago, when people were crossing the channel to go and get booze and cigarettes cheap and smuggle it back, you got to make it so that's not viable. It's a pain in the ass to do that. Or you might as well stay at home and get the stuff here. You need that kind of idea model with comics. Like, you got to go through all these crappy sites and dodgy links to get a comic, or you can just pay £5 a week and get all the comics you want from the app. I feel like it needs to be like that. Which looks like Marvel are doing.
Yeah. You know who the great saviours of comics distribution are? Small press.
Yes.
Yeah, you want comics? We've got comics. We're making comics now. We're selling comics now. Yeah, you want them?
Yeah.
Come and get them. Yeah,
and everyone's, I know sometimes it is hard to keep up the momentum, or these sort of viral times are strange, and it's not like that, Tony. I mean, thankfully you're not loud outside. But some people have become really, really productive, or they're making the most of it, and I mean, art as a therapeutic sort of medium is very good anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely it really is.
So I mean, whether you consider yourself to be a comics creator or not, maybe you just want to draw some pictures. Everything helps. Maybe you just want to write something. Just whatever it is, just write it, create it. You never know, but by the end of it, you might have something that's like, oh, I could do something with this.
Yeah,
I could post this online. As we always say, make it for yourself, and once you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Sort of thing,
Art's a personalised thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we do one more off the Twitch before we either do a recommend or not? So
sure.
Al Henderson's on there. Penguin. He's a brand, isn't he? He loves a brand.
Yeah.
Love Al. Question: what piece of art or a book have you held but regret not buying in the end?
Oh fuck!
God,
I'll tell you one for me, and this is an easy one for me because it's always the one I think about. Do you remember at the 40th, Chris Weston had a Nemesis the Warlock print? And it was a big one. It was like one of those Mondo, what are they called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's exactly the same fucking show. Gone.
Oh, is it? And I remember looking at it thinking, I need to buy that. But I don't like carrying around big prints and artwork with me sometimes if I'm at a convention. Because that one, we all went on the piss afterwards. You remember? We went for a meal and all sorts of shit, didn't we? And I didn't get home. I only just made the last train. So I was like, I wish I'd bought that. And I keep thinking I should try and contact him. Because we went for a bite to eat with him, didn't we, V?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I might have a couple left stowed away," and I keep meaning to get hold of him and never had. But yeah, that's my one.
There was one of those Mondo prints of Judge Dredd street scene from the side, and Judge Dredd was pushing through, and it was like black, white, and red,
right?
And it was really heavy inked, and it was so fucking good. And I thought, pretty much like you, I've got to be carrying this bloody thing around me.
Yeah,
and it was actually a show exclusive. I don't think you could get it otherwise.
Yeah, the Western one was as well.
Yeah, and I was
me, off the top of my head, was one that Hugo Boylan at Thought Bubble recommended I check out. Definitely wanted to check it out. Spoke to the creator at Thought Bubble, went to the table to get it. He was always busy when he was there. I
know which one this is.
And when I came back, he had essentially sold out. But thanks to the joy of the internet, I wanted it so badly. I thought, right, I'm going to stump up the cash to get the hardback, and that's this.
Hey, love that book. And
nice one.
That's on my shelf behind me. Yeah, love
Andromeda or The Long Way Home by Izzy Bernay. I probably got that wrong. Anyone who's got this knows that it's an absolutely stunning book. Very few words, but
lovely stuff.
Yeah, I love that book. I'm a big fan of it.
Need I say more? But so it's brilliant. I highly recommend it. I mean, there's probably lots of others that I can think of.
God, yeah.
There's so
Every
much
con I've been to, I've always at the end of it on the way home or something. Oh, fuck's sake, I didn't pick up X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Well, people do share their what I got at the con, and you see a couple of books. Oh man, I wanted to get that, and I fucking forgot or whatever. You didn't see. You walk around like half a dozen times, you don't see that person or see that comic. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But you can buy them direct from the creators. I mean, we've had some creators on the streams today.
There's loads on here. I think you can buy books from.
You can buy straight from.
The question was posed by Mr. Henderson. Go and buy some Penguin.
Yes,
good stuff.
Definitely
do. Yeah. What do you want to do now, boys?
Well, is there anything like you want to ask? Either of you two want to talk about? I mean, comics is it's a real fluid and it's in flux, as you say, Tony. Using your words.
Yeah, it really is at the moment.
It's changing every day. There's all things going on. I mean,
okay. How about this one? I've got one.
Go on.
What's the one back issue you want? You can have any back issue. Don't go mad and say I want Action Comics 1, but there's got to be one that's special to you. What's the one?
Oh God, that's a really tough one, Tony.
That's got because like when we went to the Comic Mart, I really had to, and I wanted to search for like back issues and stuff. I had to really think about, because I'm not in that mindset of like I have to get issue 167 or something.
That's tough.
So I had
It's
to
like
really
the Grail issue you want, just the one that means so much to you. I'm going to say Silver
Yeah, you
Surfer
go for
1,
it.
Silver Surfer 1, Buscema art. I just love that. I've got a big print of the Usinity. I've got a big print of the cover on my wall here, and it's just I've got reprints of it. I've got the artist edition of it, but I just want that. That issue. I just love that issue. I think it's one of the most iconic covers ever.
Bad Rock issue 1.
You lie.
I might be able to sort that out for you.
You've got that already.
Dan, make my dreams come true. Again.
You know what? I would love to own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 from Mirage Studios.
That's a good one.
Do you know that was listed in Antiques collecting books at one point because it was so
really
sought after?
Yeah.
It was just when the cartoon was starting, and I went into the comic shop, and they had one of the earlier ones that wasn't cartoon related, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. And that kind of like heavy scratchy inks, the violent. I loved it. Yeah. I would love to have that.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen for that Silver Surfer just so everyone can see it.
Do you know?
There you go.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Fantastic.
Oh, but look at the blacks and the reds on that. So gorgeous, isn't it?
I've been watching a couple of those Comic Tropes videos, and
all right,
the chap, I can't remember his name, but he did one about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Laird.
And it was frustrating for me because they done this comic and they were really passionate comic creators, and then they essentially became brand managers.
Yeah.
Because this had become so big.
Yeah.
That they had to spend all their time like managing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in cartoons, toys, films, whatever, and then they weren't creating comics. I think one of them went round to start drawing again because they missed it so much.
Did you see the? Is it the Toys That Made Us?
The Toys That Made Us.
They're in that now.
When they get back together for the first time in a long time, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Bintikins is in the chat. Hey.
Hello, Danny.
Haven't seen Danny for a while.
Yeah. There you go. So we're just streaming live. So if you're popping in and out, just ask a question because this is carnage. This is chaos. This will be whatever.
Danny made me laugh. I did there was a robot gorilla that someone made, and I was like Robo Harambe, and people were quoting like clips from RoboCop, and Danny put, "He's going to be a bad motherfucker." I laughed at that.
It's very sweary.
Yeah. I mean, RoboCop is amazing, as we all know.
Do you like RoboCop, Dan, or is it?
Yeah, do you like it?
Yes. A penchant of RoboCops.
How many?
You were on a podcast recently talking about it, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Stuart Mulrain and Andy Hanks talk about RoboCops.
Yeah. RoboCops, plural. I'm surprised.
Somebody's asked, what was the YT channel Dan just mentioned? What was that?
YT channel. Remind me in the chat because I can't recall what that is.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh no, the YouTube channel. Sorry, the Comic Tropes.
That's right. Yeah.
Comic Tropes.
Okay, good stuff.
It's the chat breaks down like a comic or a creator or a comic trope each couple of weeks, and they're nice little series, nice little breakdown.
Yeah, cool. Do you want to do a recommend now? Breaking it up with the recommend baby cakes.
Oh yes, we can indeed. Who wants to go first this time?
You go first, V. Go on.
Yeah.
All right then. I'm going to go back to a publisher that we're big fans of. And they're doing good stuff at the moment. This is TKO.
Nice.
Obviously, we've talked about it a few times. They're making good strides for comic books at the moment, I think, as well. Getting a lot of good press for the initiatives they're doing and paying it forward to the comic book shops themselves. I finally got round to reading one of the second wave books of theirs that I've wanted to read for a while. I read the first issue. I mean, I've got the collection. I read the first issue, but didn't have a chance to sort of sit down and read it. So I started it from the beginning. Absolutely adored it. I know you've read this one, haven't you, Tony?
I have, man. Yeah, I really like it.
And this is Sentient.
Yeah. Slightly oversized, that trade, isn't it, as well? It's a slightly larger trade, isn't it? It's larger than your head.
It's larger than my head, which is quite good. Yeah, this is Jeff Lemire and Gabrielle Walter.
Yeah.
And those will know, obviously, Jeff Lemire from things like Black Hammer and Sweet Tooth and all those things. It's Sweet Tooth, isn't it? I did get that right.
Yeah, that's right, Babes. Yeah.
Yeah. And Walter is obviously from that phenomenal series of The Vision, where he absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not enough people talk. I mean, a lot of people talk about Mr. Miracle, and that's obviously wonderful. But don't ignore The Vision, because The Vision came first.
I preferred The Vision, if I'm honest.
So did I.
Do you know what I did as well? I didn't mind it. I just I found it's a bit. I don't know. There's moments in Mr. Miracle I found were a bit fillerish. You know, the bit where he's they're fighting, but they're talking about going shopping at the same time. It seems to just go on for ages.
It was for me at times quite heavy and kind of like I felt like to wade through it. Where The Vision was just like, boom, boom, it was like a fucking roller coaster. That was great.
And thankfully, you know, it was sort of. They've done an omnibus of it. It's like 12 issues, wasn't it? It was a one and done 12 issues. There's a wonderful big hardcover, which is still on my wish list. It's high on my
is it?
wish list.
Oh, look at you with your birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Special birthday.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. But this of course is with TKO. It's an original story called Sentient, and I'll just read the back of the book. Live on air, you'll see how little notes.
So great.
It says, "Welcome to the USS Montgomery. When a separatist attack kills every adult on board a colony ship in deep space, it is up to Valerie, the onboard AI, to help the ship's children survive. But as they are pursued by dangerous forces, can Valerie become more than what she was programmed to be, a saviour to these children?" I absolutely fucking love this book. The first
one of the best first issues as well, mate. The turn you get in that first issue. Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning. The first issue. I mean, I guess you really feel it with this story with the TKO stuff. The first issues are they're the pilot episode, aren't they?
Yeah.
Of the series, and you know, if this was a pilot episode of the series, you'd immediately be like, right, here you go, here's your budget. I want to see the rest of that.
I'm on board.
Yeah, it's completely on board. The way it builds up this universe, which is, you know, even though it's in space and there's obviously a huge scope to it, it's a very sort of it's like a little pocket, because it is this community of kids and this computer AI called Valerie, who I tell you what's impressive, I think, for this book as well, is Valerie becomes a proper fleshed out character in this book from page one. This computer AI.
But there's no face to her. That's the amazing thing about it. There's no actual, not really. There's a couple of arms that appear and, you know, stuff like that. There's no real visual representation of her, is there?
Yeah. But how this AI sort of looks after these children, and they're sort of, there's a lot of sort of inter-character relationships between the kids that play out. Because after basically one of the children's parents decides to kill everyone on the ship, because it's all about colonies. You know, I won't go into it too much. You'll pick it up. It tells you within the first issue the kind of the scene setting it does all of that, and then you're just with the kids trying to survive really with this ship. And the way it's all broken down, it's I mean, it starts off dark, but I don't consider it to be a very dark story at all. It's you know, it is a survival story, and there's a lot of you know, there's action. It could be one and done, but I feel like I'd like more of this. If they
leave it open at the end, don't they, for another one?
Yeah.
I can see them doing like a 10 years later story, something like that. You know?
And obviously Lemire is so good at writing. You know,
he's on form at the moment, man, isn't he? He's writing some great books.
Good, and he's very good at writing very personal stories as well, very emotional stories. And considering that it's a book that's all about children, I'm guessing he's got kids. He's got a family. He's got kids. Yeah, he must have. I think I wouldn't. I don't know, but there's a real sort of dexterity to the way he actually portrays his children. You know, it's children as they are. It's not someone trying to write kids. And we've talked about this on the show before, with like books like Orphans and stuff like that. You really have to get it right, and you know, he just makes you understand everyone's sort of motives and actions throughout it. And then on top of that, they create this computer AI that, like Tony said, you don't see a face for, that becomes a character and is really supportive, and will essentially defend these children to the death, because it does essentially become a mother to the kids. Now that's the story aside. Walter's, I tell you what, his design and illustration in this is phenomenal. You can tell. I mean, God knows how many sort of sketches and designs he did of the ship, because it all seems to work. Like, I was looking at certain panels, and this is a computer AI that isn't just a screen. It's just not lots of screens. It moves around the ship. You can see in the background, like, there's tracks where the screen can move around the ship and follow the kids and stuff. So it's that eye to detail that really works and makes it feel like a living, breathing sort of piece of work. And his artwork as well is very reminiscent of sort of like the heavy metal stuff, and especially in this. It's very overstood. One thing that caught me about this issue, they really push it to the end, to the edge of the page border and the margins and stuff. I mean, I'm going to show it here. I don't know if you... Obviously, sorry if you're listening just audio, but if you can see it here, can you see that?
Yeah.
How close those panel borders are to the edge, to the point of, like, you've got to have real faith in your printer.
Yeah,
Yeah, you really do. And some of the colours...
as I understand it, you can buy it in singles in a box set, can't you? And they're the same size. I think they're oversized as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
The Sarah ones were as well.
Have you you've got the singles of Sarah, haven't you?
I've got the singles of Sarah, but I've got the trade of Sentient.
Is it glossy paper for the Sarah, or is it just... Because I know Sentient has like a sort of matte
I think it's the
paper.
same. Yeah.
I'm never quite sure about the single issues in the box. Does it work okay?
Do you know what? I read it digitally and I've never opened it more than once, I think. I think I opened it and looked at them, and then, it's kind of... I'm a weird collector.
It's a collector's mentality. Cool. Yeah, they're creative for a collector's mentality.
Okay.
Because I would just go for the collector's
trade. Every day.
That's why I went for that eventually. Yeah. I think because the trades are more available in comic shops as well. Yeah. Do you remember the dramas I had over buying the singles in that box off them? I almost became friends with the bloke who ran the distribution at TKO. And we'd like speak every week, and I'd throw him a joke and say, it's travelled 8 yards this week, and he's like, I'm really sorry, sort of There
was a lot of back and forth, but they were really personable, weren't they?
Yeah. They were. They were. They were.
And these books are very much sort of like, they give you the comics, they give you all of the issues, you've got the covers in the back. That's what it is. You wanted the comics, you got the comics. And there is a real thought to, but there's thought to, they're paced like individual issues rather than thinking about the collection. Especially
Zach makes a good point there as well in the Twitch. He says the first issues are free.
Yeah.
So all the first issues are free to download and read.
Yeah. So please go on and download the first issue. Well, of all of them, really, because that's what we did even before we had a connection with TKO and stuff. And
is that your highlight of the TKO stuff, or is it Sarah?
Sarah's my favourite of all of them. I still need to get the collection of that.
I've got to get that collection.
And I know we've talked about a few of their books, but this was one that has just jumped up. This is a very close second.
Okay, I've seen mine's 7 Deadly Sins. I really love that.
Yeah, that's...
What was that Brawler one? The one where the MMA fight?
Yeah, the female MMA one. Yeah, pound for pound.
Pound for pound. That's I recommended that. That goes in a way that's very Grindhouse. That was
okay.
The only thing, I mean, I love it cover to cover. But if I was to say one thing, I can understand why this is. Like if you look at the cover itself. I hate to do this, but you can see it's it's the
no,
ship.
Don't break the spine.
No, I'm not going to break the spine. I just is that a super strong cover?
Yeah, I think so.
For me,
don't like it.
No, I mean, I think it could be stronger. I think it could be stronger.
I like it.
Yeah. I think maybe if there was more it was zoomed out a bit. If there's more negative space, so you see it in the true isolation.
Maybe bring up the light on the spaceship a little bit.
It's just a bit kind of one note, the cover.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the title. I
mean, you can see the individual issues have like covers, sort of like that. Or there's a beautiful one.
That's the face I make when doing a poop.
One of, can you see that? The kids.
No, I can't really see that too
well. Dark, man, that one.
Oh well.
They're all looking out into space.
Yeah. So things like that are really sort of good. But that's a minor because I just absolutely devoured it and loved it, and it gave me all the feels, which which is quite good. We love an emotion on this show, and we're not afraid of
it. We
them.
do. Yeah. We're not.
No. So that's
we're
why
huggers on this show.
Yeah,
we love a hug.
Go to tkopresents.com, download the first issues of all of them, and you'll see what I mean as soon as you read the first one, because it's just
cool.
So that's mine.
You want to go D-Man?
Yeah, sure. Mine's not a comic book, but I was talking about this on the lines the other day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love me an art book, man. Sell me on
Spider-Man
it.
Into the Spider-Verse, the movie. I'm going to go into screen share mode so we can take a look through some of the panels.
I'm so impressed by how sort of tech savvy you two are this week.
I know. I'm known for it, though, to be fair, you know.
So this kind of the book takes you through from. I really enjoyed this film when it came out. I took my son to see it, like under the proviso that he really wanted to see it as opposed to me.
The best Spider-Man film, I think.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. So it takes you pretty much chronologically from the start of the film to the end through various design elements. And I've just picked out a couple of pages, but it's really, really lovely stuff. I mean, each character has their own couple of spreads where they pull apart the character and the creators talk about the various ideas behind it. I'm not sure if I've put him on here, but there was the first Peter Parker you come across. Have you guys seen the film?
Yeah, several times. Yeah.
So the first Peter Parker, I didn't realise he was voiced by. Yeah, he was voiced by Chris Pine, and he's like a kind of blonde Peter Parker, and he was supposed to be like the idealised Spider-Man, where everything in his life had gone right. He was married to Mary Jane. Uncle Ben was still alive. Everything was great, and then it sort of sets him up as being the mentor, which is then stripped away as he's killed, and Miles has to step up. And then you introduce to the other Peter, who's aging in years, and he's had the flip side of that, where his life hasn't gone so great. I imagine him more like the 616 Spider-Man, which the character just gets absolutely taken through the ringer all the time. His life's just a constant drama where nothing quite goes right, which is one of the reasons I think Spider-Man's had such a longevity. It's people can relate to it. I mean, apart from marrying a supermodel thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a kink in the road.
Yeah. Or wasn't he a millionaire for a while recently?
Yeah.
I sort of zoned out a bit on that one.
Yeah. That real everyman thing when you become a millionaire and marry a supermodel. So yeah, the art book's filled with lovely stuff, character breakdowns. You got all the various Spider-Men and Spider-People, Spider-Women, whatever, from the different universes, and just their creative thinking behind it. You know, when reading the comics years ago, and you come up with the Prowler, I would have said, "There's no way that dude is ever going to be cool. It's just a joke." Yeah. And then the way they did it in the film, and you see them bringing the designs up. I'll see if I can.
He's got a badass theme as well in that.
I can't remember the Prowler. The Prowler's a woman in the comics now, isn't she?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, Prowler's his daughter, I think, isn't it?
Is it right? Okay. Yeah.
Am I off screen share?
Yeah.
Cool.
You're frozen. Your image is frozen in my that's better. There you go. Better. Yeah.
Oh, another dance break.
Let's see if I can find it, because they started to do like the original Prowler costume, which I know from the comics that kind of like green, and it kind of looked like Spawn meets Spider-Man.
Did it have the costume in it? Yeah, it have the sort of like the old school design where they had like lines all the way across? You know, when they had like the pattern, like the Wrecker used to have. And stuff like that.
Kind of. I'm not sure if this is going to pick up on camera, but like they tried to like a more homemade approach. But like the one we got in the film was just like it was a banger. It was really good. But yeah, it's not the art book. I've actually gone ahead and ordered another art book for XCOM.
Have you ordered the art book for Birds of Prey, the movie?
That wasn't feedback on Dan's mic.
Talking about quick aside, talking about films, that Extraction, Chris Hemsworth is a fucking.
Oh, is it?
It's a banger. Yeah, it's a banger.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. I might watch that later.
Don't watch Birds of Prey. Christ from mine, it's awful.
There you go.
It's terrible. There you go.
You heard it live.
Barry Norman here. Barry Norman.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I do mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to do the screen share thing again.
Yes.
So mine is a book from Magnetic Press, who we've spoken about a few times now. It's Streamliner 1 by Lise Dora. Can you see that, guys?
Dude, I read this the other day.
Oh, did you?
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Yeah. So it's 27 pages colour from Magnetic Press. The physical release is the 17th of June, and it came out as a digital release the 13th of this month. Lise Dora petrol filling station sits in the middle of nowhere desert. It's usually a pretty sleepy place, but that's about to change. Billy Joe and his gang, the Red Noses, have plans for their stretch of open desert, an all-out race to see who is the fastest and worthy to lead the pack. Originally published in French in the Rue de Sèvres publishing house. I don't know much about the artist. I had a look. I couldn't find much else by Fane, written and drawn by a guy or person called Fane. But I love that cover, man. I just absolutely
it's a really nice cover.
That's the sun shining through, the old school racers down the bottom there. Her with a sort of Winchester style rifle, really, really nice.
Attitude. Yeah,
Definitely. And that's the kind of art style I really enjoy. That kind of art style, I really dig it. You know. And to be fair, I am a sucker for anything set in the 1970s. I just love it. I just think it's a really good evocative era. We don't have to worry about cell phones. You know, everyone can be lost in the desert.
It starts off like it's a bit of a flash. The first issue is
time jumps, doesn't it? Yeah. So it starts off with a load of trucks. I think you get that in here. I think in the preview pages you get 8 pages wordless, pretty much. So it's just a long trail of like muscle cars and trucks and stuff like that, and they break into this yard, and then they sort of gather in this yard, and you see on the top of this petrol station is an old propeller plane, and it sits as it's obviously just the shell of an old plane, but just for sort of kitsch values, it sits on the top of this petrol station, and in the flashback bits it's fully formed and it's sitting there on top, but in this one it's sort of broken in half. And then it flashes back to this girl, Crystal her name is, and she arrives back and her dad is there. Dad's like a bit of an old drunk, and she wakes him up and said, "Why aren't you manning the petrol station?" And he sort of says,
he used to be a sort of driver, didn't he?
Yeah, and also I'm getting the impression some kind of sort of mechanic engineer kind of guy, because he sort of sees an engine and takes it apart visually.
There's a brilliant sort of panel of him. He's just staring at a car, but in his thought bubble is a blueprint of an engine, you know, when you have all the numbers and stuff, and it's breaking it apart. Yeah, that's really well done. That
absolutely love it. And this guy turns up, and she sort of grabs her handgun from under the counter, and he looks like the Fonz turned up to sort of 23 with a big pair of glasses, and he's got a shooter as well. And he turns up and buys petrol and starts staying there, and slowly you begin to realise that he's organising a drag race outside. And they don't really like it because these guys are just trouble, you know. These sort of hipsters, or you know, the hep cats have sort of turned up, and at the end, it's getting more and more pacey. It starts slow and quiet, and there's a hot desert, and such a mood gathering sort of start to it, and then it ends up with all the gangs there, and she goes out and says, "Right, you know, I'm not having this. You got to go," and the gang grab her, and it. Again, here we go, another one. It gets a bit rapey towards the end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And he fires his gun and stands on the car and says, "Nah, stop that. I like her." And you think, right, where's this going to go in the next issue? I just love it. Just so well paced. What's that book you recommended by Ben Gal?
Death and Glory.
Reminded me a bit of the art style of that.
Yeah, very much. I think that was why I was drawn to this, actually. Yeah. Death and Glory it almost has a similar sort of build up to this, but then Death and Glory takes it puts on the handbrake and goes in a direction you do not expect it to go.
Yeah.
So, this might be more conventional, but it is I'm interested to see where it goes, especially at this price point. It's still a decent price point.
Yeah, it is. Think. So they're doing interesting things. So they've grabbed the idea of publishing French comics from a couple of publishers. There's some high points in Magnetic Press. We've talked about a few of them.
Yeah.
Infinity 8. Go for Infinity 8. Did you read some of Infinity 8, guys? I can't remember.
No,
I've got that one to read because I bought one of the trades in a sale. I have been reading Claw, though. That's another very good one.
That Claw looks fucking great.
Okay. And they're the ones that I read the series Love.
Yeah, right. I remember that. Yeah.
And also Orphans, obviously, which we're big fans of. Yeah. It's that's quite the book as well. Yeah. But they're one to watch out. They're a regular. I go to Europe Comics, I go to Magnetic Press, I go to Top Shelf, I go to Fantagraphics. They're one of the ones I immediately go to. Do you know? And I really do think that they're worth looking for. Magnetic Press. Let's just quickly click on Infinity 8, and I'll show you what we're talking about. I think I talk about one of these issues before.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I
can't remember. It's a proper head F. Do you know what I mean? It really is. She just keeps looking at aliens, seeing if she can have a baby with them all the way through it. Look at that. How cool is that?
Nice.
Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah. So that's my one. So that is Streamliner 1 by Lisa Dora from Fane, published by Magnetic Press on Comixology. Right, let me just... I'm out of this.
Yeah. So get more recommendations for you, lovely lot. On the Twitch chat, as Butcher was talking about art books, and we love an art book. I've got a few on my shelf here. Kig O Doodles on the Twitch chat said the best place for art of is the Forbidden Planet sales sections. You can
he's right.
You can get some bangers for £3.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. Should we do our pick a word thing?
Yes, because we've got a little bit of a competition, haven't we, Tony?
Yeah, which we've completely forgot to do. Sorry, Aaron.
Have you properly read it out? Have you got all your notes, Tony?
I wonder what this word's going to be.
If you so we're putting up a hardback copy of Gallant and Amos, which is a lovely book. I own one actually.
Yeah.
And if you type the words Tony's balls into the chat, you'll go into the don't make that face. You go into the raffle. You knew it was coming. You go into the raffle to win a copy. So Tony's balls. If you can type Tony's balls into the chat, I'm watching you. Who's doing it? Come on. We've already had two.
I am never aware of when Tony's balls are going to turn up, but they seem to turn up just anywhere, at any moment.
They turned up in a comic last week.
It's true.
I've got
several times.
We've only got 15 minutes, babes, and I've got a few shout-outs. Do we want to go through some shout-outs?
Start the shout-outs.
Yeah, let's do some shout-outs. I've got nothing, so I'm just going to sit back and just take it away, Tony.
Oh, okay. Let me do a screen share, because I've got to start sharing my screen around this one. Hang on. Right, I'd like to thank Ian Ashcroft, because he did a... what's happening? What is frozen?
If it's one of your dirty videos, we don't.
There you go.
Ian
Ashcroft did a Atomic Hercules sketch for me. How cool is that?
Fucking ace.
Yeah. How cool is that? Another book I wanted to talk about is Horizon Cafe, which is a book that I've edited, which is coming out from Marcosia in a few months. You've got a few months yet, but look out for it. By Emanuela Milleri.
Love that cover.
It's really lovely. And an absolute joy to work with. What a lovely lady. Me, her, and Harry Marcos have been backwards and forwards posting about it, and we've I've had a blast with this. It's different, very different. I think you can see this book fitting in with someone like Avery Hill or something like that. It's got a really interesting, trippy kind of feel to it. Yeah, really good stuff. That's the two I've got to share on the screen. But the other one I wanted to say was Alex Automatic 4 and 5 is out on Kickstarter. Going back that.
Lad Issue 2 is also on Kickstarter. That's another one you need to back as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's quality.
One for you two boys. Carthay goes back on Comixology.
Really?
Five volumes of it. They've suddenly put 5 volumes out of Carthago. Yeah, which is our book of 3 years ago.
Yeah. Is that including the original ones? Is that?
So it's one. So it's got 1 to 10 now out. Get on board that. One of the best books we've ever read.
Yeah.
And my final one is
lovely cover with a massive
best cover.
shark.
Yeah. And the one for old school comic fans, Epic fans, and First Comics fans, Dreadstar Returns is on Kickstarter. One of my favourite comic series ever by Jim Starlin. If you're a fan of the Infinity Gauntlet, even the movies, you need to see what else he's done in his life, and this is one of the best ones. It's got 15 days to go, and it's currently at 309%, so you're definitely getting a book out of it. Yeah, going back that one. Really good stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, keep an eye out on Kickstarter. There's some great stuff out there at the moment.
There is.
And just, we're probably browsing Kickstarter and indie comics and stuff as more than ever. Hopefully, and create. Have you got any shout-outs, Dan? See,
Dan shakes head.
Is that what you do when we do the audio one? Because sometimes, it's just blankness.
No, I've got no shout-outs that I can recall. I've prepped a fair bit for today's show, but shout-outs wasn't one of them.
Oh, wow. So instead it was just moisturising, making sure your hair was on point.
I remember the shout-outs maybe 10 minutes after we finished. That's usually...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I should have said X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. And speaking of drawing a blank, I haven't done any drawing.
There you go.
So, but because this is what happens every week. Some weeks we start the show and we think, what the hell are we going to talk about when it's just the three of us? And this has been amazing fun. And we hope.
Any more questions? Because we've still got 10-15 minutes, haven't we?
Yeah, but I've still got to put that. I've got to do the proper sign off.
Okay, right. The way gets to shout.
That way, I don't have to do any work, and I can just edit the audio for episode 251. This is going to be episode 251 of the Awesome Comics podcast again.
You have been a part of 251.
Yeah, you have literally been a part of episode 251 alive.
You've been inside us.
Have you though?
A little bit.
So the head.
I mean, if you get to a certain amount on the donations,
You can go inside Vince.
no,
Fire up
why
the
me?
donation. The donationometer. How much we raised, Vince?
Yeah, how we doing? Who's got it on the screen? I haven't got it on the screen.
I haven't got it on the screen.
We are on currently 1,395.
Oh, there's a few more.
27.9%. So by the end of it, there's lots of great people coming out later today. So keep tuning in to this. Twitch.tv/Little Heroes.
Yeah, stay on. You got That Comic Smell next.
Yes.
I'm gonna be staying for that. Sadar cut.
Yes. What flavour are his crisps?
So we've come in and set like the bar very low.
We're
So
very
everything
low.
else
I mean,
after
which is what we
this
do, isn't it? Really?
is-
Yeah. You know.
Everything else seems great in comparison to this.
Oh, and Zach Cobb has run the giveaway. Is that right? Who's put that in? Who's Nightbot? I don't know what that means.
That was me.
Oh, right. Sorry. Who's that? Is that you, mate?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. Welcome. Here, as soon as the shout out section, we want to put a massive shout out to Aaron from Little Heroes for setting this all up and inviting us along. And basically, he's going to be doing this for the rest of the day, and he's got some great people coming.
I haven't seen Aaron for a while.
Yeah.
You've done some weight, haven't you? Tell you now.
I've lost a little bit.
Yeah, you look good, man. Yeah.
Don't make him feel uncomfortable, Tony.
Looking sexy.
But who have we got coming up the rest of the day, Aaron?
So we've got one more live stream planned, which is obviously that Comic Smell guys talking about their 3 greatest comic artists.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
time.
this. Yeah, I'm going to have a bet on who's who in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to hang around for a bit longer doing some coding stuff on the project that I've been working on, my comic collaboration tool. But apart from that, nothing really else planned. So, because obviously no Americans joined in.
Oh.
Got the comeback.
Maybe
Zach,
we can
Zach
do
Cobb
something.
ran the book. Well done, Zach.
Yeah.
Well
well
done,
done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you just message me, Zach, I'll sort it out for you.
Yeah.
On
winging his way to you.
the chat, Rob Barnes said we may go blind if we see Vince dancing.
There's a lot of talk of Vince dancing on here because I know every time I bring it up, you get, oh, here we go.
You could put this to bed.
If I was a rich man, Tony, sing and I'll dance.
I'm not singing again. You laughed at me last time.
No, I
sang.
didn't sing. Sing. You got the voice of an angel.
I have got a lovely voice. That is true.
Yeah,
I'm not-
Lucifer.
I'll tell you what I have got in front of me, though. I've got.
Go on.
Yes.
Right, do that, Tony. Dana, sing us something
My
by.
guitar's out of the room. I could have got my guitar
Go
in.
on, go on.
Bring the guitar in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on. Bring the guitar
Yeah.
in.
Downstairs, we ain't got time.
Oh dear, we could have had some live busking.
We got any more questions other than just pressure on you to dance? Which he seems to be getting into, so I'm going to have to stop him
Yeah.
going on about that now.
So I'm going to turn that into a gift later.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
I mean, now that we're on video, so but this has been
Do that hang up thing.
this has been because you forget, Aaron, we're on for like a little while. We could get in the space of 30 seconds. We could get this whole thing banned from Twitch.
If you do, you have to make it go all the way to the £5,000 limit yourself. So yeah, that's the
Bloody,
rule.
I mean, come on.
Bloody hell.
I mean, you work for a charity, man. I mean, that's a bit harsh. It's always me being bullied. Live,
Yeah, it is.
live. But yeah, thank you very much for checking this out, folks. We had a right laugh, and hope you enjoyed listening to us waffle on, answer some of your questions. Yeah, it's good to see that this sort of thing works. So who knows? We might do something like this for a special episode.
Yeah.
Again,
I'll
one
tell you
day.
what we should do is tell the
You
viewers
look like
where
you
we
want to
can-
go to sleep, Dan.
They should. We should tell the viewers where they can get our titles.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah,
good idea.
yeah, we should.
Come on, Vince, you go first. Come quiet.
Well, my stuff at the moment is if you go to awesomecomics.bigcartel.com. That's still going, isn't it? That's
still
where you
there,
can get.
yeah.
If you haven't got it yet, you can get Awesome Comics issue 1 to 4. It's also available on Comic House, whatever. And if you go to instagram.com/blackthecomic, that is my latest project, which is completely free to check out. So please go and follow it on Instagram, and just tell everyone about it. So it's going to be an interesting experiment, and I hope you all dig it. So that's currently what I've got at the moment. So,
Real. Tony?
Oh, as well as the Spark Monster Spotters
Yes.
Club. My work with Tony Esmond, where we do our hardest to be sensible and do an all ages kids comic.
Yeah, you do well.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
We
No,
like. I think kids like a little tiny bit of the puerile, which we're adding now, which makes us chuckle.
As well as a bit of a spacey fun. So
Yeah.
So go check out Fair Spark Books and The Spark, because it's just a brilliant series anyway, and there's lots of fantastic creators doing it, and just follow that. So there you go. Who else?
Tony?
Neverironanything.blogspot.com is where I do reviews. Neverironanything.bigcartel.com is where I sell my comics, and neverironanything.podbean.com is where I do that sort of spin-off podcast thing. There you go.
Nice.
Dan, where can people
Well,
get your
if you want to
stuff?
buy Vanguard,
Yeah.
if you want to buy Vanguard, go to Comic House. Books 1, 2, and 3 are all on there.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Nice. That man of the people, just giving back constantly.
Yeah.
But we really hope you've enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
I mean, we've
It's been
talked
good.
about
It's been different. I
it's
like
been-
watching you two as I talk. It's nice.
I mean, that's a little
It's
bit
weird
weird
because
for
the
me.
camera's up there, but Vince's face is there, so I'm kind of... It's odd. Yeah. The camera, not your face.
Yeah. Well, not right now. Not right now.
No.
Get a really real close up on you. I want a real,
No, Tony.
Just
Get
shoot that down
really
immediately.
close to this.
No.
What?
Shut up, Tony.
Where can they find you on social media, Vince?
Hang on, Dan. I got to every time. Have you noticed he's gone power mad? He started our sponsorship ad as well. Did you notice that, Tony?
Yeah, I know.
He wants to.
Pulling it.
I tell you what, the camera's on him, and all of a sudden he turns into a monster. You're like the Simon Cowell of comics. That's what you are.
I was concerned the Twitch crowd wasn't too enamoured with what we were talking about. What were we talking about when we did the Comic House? I can't remember. Yeah.
I don't know.
See, the only reason we're on here is for birds. Do you know what I mean? That's how it goes. That's why we're here.
So if you want to complain about Tony Esmond, if you want to complain about either Tony Esmond or Dan Butcher, you can email us
Jester Diablo.
Do you know what? I'm just going to get Aaron to hang up the call in a minute. Right. I take back everything I said. We're never doing this again.
Take back nothing.
Right. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with us with any events, or if you're planning any similar sort of events like this, or anything to do with making comics, indie comics, or just sharing the love of comics, because we need some more positivity more than ever at the moment, email us awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Tony.awesomecomicspod@gmail.com is where you can send your Atomic Hercules letters. On social media, follow us at The Awesome Pod. Thank you for your questions that you sent through today. We truly appreciate it. And we'll be announcing future guests. We're lining up the next couple of months of guests. Now that we've got 250 out of the way, we've just got to sit back and chill out, haven't we? Until the next. Yeah. So it'll be good.
Preparing towards the 500.
What?
Well, we got Blackpool, and then we got 300.
No.
That's the,
No.
I tell you what, I don't know why I do it. I really don't know why I do it. But
Newcastle.
if you do the Book of Faces, go to facebook.com/awesomecomicspodcast. Follow us on there. We haven't mentioned it so far this week, but there is a fantastic community of people on Facebook that join the group Awesome Comics Talk.
That would have been the shout out, the drawing.
There you go. So, and the sort of great thing you can see in Awesome Comics Talk is this, Dan.
Yeah, we're doing another one of our draws. The last one we did was an Asterix and Obelix
How good was that, man?
tribute.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
fantastic.
amazing.
So many good entries.
Yeah.
You can go back onto it now and scroll through the various entries we got on there. But this time we're doing a draw off replacing characters from famous paintings with comic book characters. And that's got a deadline of a week when you hear this show, which is I don't know when the fucking date is. So you got about a week.
Yeah, got a week. Get on with it.
got
You've
about a
got
week.
nothing
Get
else
on
to
with
do in your lives.
Yeah.
Stop watching box sets and go and do some drawing.
Oh, steady now,
Yeah.
Tony. There's strong strides.
Always people put their work up, and then the level of quality is like, oh fuck, I wish I'd
just-
spent more time doing
Jesus
it.
Christ, those
So,
the
yeah, it's really
asterisk
good.
ones were amazing.
Yeah. So if you want to see some amazing art, definitely check out Awesome Comics Talk, as well as great, fantastic community chatter and making comics and stuff. If you want to learn more, then just ask that community, because they're all really supportive, and there's no hard selling of stuff.
And any skill level is welcome in that draw off.
Yep.
Any at all.
Yeah, we do it, so anyone can do it. And if you listen to the podcast normally, or if you want to tell people where to get it, then go to awesomecomics.podbean.com. We're also available on iTunes, so subscribe and leave a review. Just helps get the word out. Normally, this has actually worked. I can't believe that the show, so it's just been all right.
Slick.
Yeah, so I've just got to check in a minute, see if I've actually recorded it. I'm pretty sure.
Otherwise, we're back on tomorrow, kids.
Otherwise, we're back on tomorrow, and I can't do this again. But
Another live show.
Yeah, we're also available on like Spotify, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife. What are the networks we on, Tony?
Pod, nobody cares about Tony's balls.
Aaron does.
I mean, your balls literally won someone a book.
I know.
Yeah.
They're winning balls, I told you.
Well, I mean...
Pierre and what's the other chap called?
Brian.
Pascal and Brian.
Pascal and Brian.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
And also, you can find us on Twitter if you just want to follow our weekly ramblings or whatever. Where can people find everyone? Tony?
Neverohanything.podbean.com or EZOHYZ on Twitter. There you go.
Yes. The Butcher.
You can find me on Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com on Twitter.
Honestly, 251 times.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Vanguard Comic, and you can read Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com.
Yes.
Yes.
You can find me. You can find me on social media on Twitter and Instagram at Jester Diablo, and you can read my comic Black on Instagram.com/blackthecomic. So there you go. Thank you very much for checking us out and just to bearing with us and joining in.
Yeah, thanks for all the comments.
Yeah,
it's really appreciated.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, we love you all very dearly, and hope you're all healthy, well, and just looking after yourself. And everything's going to be all right because we've got comics. Yeah. So we love you. Thank you for watching this. We're going to see if we can sign off. I'll tell you what. If it doesn't sign off straight away, I'm just going to. No, I'm not going to make any promises because Aaron might completely screw us over.
Yeah, I'm watching the live stream, so I can tell.
Yeah.
Or there's a time delay in it.
Yeah, we might just stare at the camera until really uncomfortably until we sign off. That'd be good. I bet Dan does a really good uncomfortable stare, don't you, Dan?
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
Are you doing it now? Yeah. Give it the cold, dead eyes of a shark. We're going to give them that until we're signed off, just to make you all really uncomfortable. But until we see you and hear you or whatever, check us out next week because we'll return to normal with a guest.
Yes.
Who knows? But until then, thank you for listening. Go forth, read loads of comics, stay healthy, stay happy. And from Dan, Tony, and myself, read. This is going to be good. This is live. This is live. Get ready to step up, and I'm going to give you a countdown.
Game on. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, game on. Right. So have a brilliant week. Read
Stay
loads
awesome.
Stay awesome.
From next week on, Tony Esmond isn't part of the show.
No, never say that.
So I can actually hang up on him now. But until then, bye everyone. Have a brilliant week and see you later.
See ya.